I just want to say a few words about the stuff I use, supplies I use for acrylic painting. First of all, I'm going to start off with the brushes. I used to buy these brushes. They're a Master's Touch. They have long brown handles, and these are hog's hair for acrylic painting, especially number 10 and number 6 bristle brushes, until I found these. I got these at Hobby Lobby. And I found these at Michael's for about $4 each, which is a really good buy. And I really like these. These are hog's hair also. And use number 12, and you want the long bristles. The long bristles. And they're black with the ferrule, and the handles kind of pearl white. And these are simply Simmons brushes, Robert Simmons' cheapest brand of brushes, but they're good brushes for the price. And I highly recommend these brushes. And I usually use the number 10, two number 10s, and then number 6. I use the number 6 extensively. Number 10 and number 6. You can see that. Number 10 and number 6. Simply Simmons. These are your long hog's hair brushes. I use these all the time. And another set I use, well, not a set, but I found these at Michael's. These are Lang nickels, and they're black. The black handles kind of have a little grip to them. And these are soft nylon brushes. Soft nylon brushes. And use the number 12 and number 10, 12, 10, and the number 6 in those. And these are great for blending, like right here. Blend one color into another color. And I think this is blending right here in this water. And I'm using, and then I get some smaller little brushes. The numbers are, let's see, this is number 1, and I don't see the number on this one, but I get some smaller ones of this kind of brush also. And those are at Michael's for $4 or something. These are hog's hair brushes. These are round. I used to get flat brushes, but I'm using more round brushes now. And this is by Master's Touch. It says Master's Touch right here. And these are the long hog's hair brushes. These are a natural color handle and a natural color hog's hair, of course. These are your stiff bristle brushes, and I use these. Spread the bristles out on your table. And I use these for the trees, for dabbing the trees and the grass, like right here. Right here, use it for grass. And dabbing in the trees, those are dabbed in all up in there. And so these come in handy for a lot of things, and I use the heck out of these suckers. I use them a lot. Matter of fact, I'm worn them out. And you get these in a set. I forgot to tell you, you get these in a set for about 12 or 13 bucks at Hobby Lobby. Let's see. Oh yeah. And you also have the same. These look the same. These are the one I just told you about, the hog's hair. These are natural nylon brushes. This is the number 11. This is the number 10. These also come in a set, just like these do. And they look identical, except for the ends of the brushes. The brushes, these are hog's hair, and these are nylon. Again, you got some nylon brushes. These come in a set for the same price, 12 or 13 bucks at Hobby Lobby. And these are very good for blending because they're nylon, they're soft brushes. These are softer. These right here are softer than these, but both of these are good. Both of these are good for blending. Of course, you got other that are paint. I used to use Basics, Liquitex Basics acrylic paint. This is a student grade. This is also a student grade, your Grumbacher Academy. But the difference between this one and this one is you have more filler in the Basics. This is cheaper, about $1 cheaper, but I like the Grumbacher better. I'm a certified Grumbacher instructor, for whatever that means. And but I've gravitated to the Grumbacher, even though a little more expensive, because they don't have as much filler as your Basics brand. But Basics is okay to use, and it'll blend okay into your Grumbacher. But I prefer the Grumbacher these days because it has more pigment in it, which means you have more paint, and it doesn't. I found out with the Basics that you kind of have to go over your paint once it dries. It dries a little darker. But this is your color fast. Once you put it on, you don't have to paint over it. It keeps its color. And these are very good paints. Highly recommend. These are student grade, but I still use them a lot. Use these a lot. I use them all the time. So you don't have to have the best paints. And these are Grumbacher Academy acrylics. And another thing about the Grumbacher, your sap green in your Grumbacher is a true sap green. If you're familiar with sap green, it's an earthy color. And your orange is a true orange. Now, in your other colors, like your Basics, they don't even have a sap green in your Basics, but in other colors, your sap green won't really be sap green, or it'll be too dark or too light or whatever, but this is a true sap green in Grumbacher. This is a true cadmium orange in Grumbacher. Now, the cadmium orange in Basics is too reddish orange. This is a true orange in Grumbacher. That's another reason I like Grumbacher. You need a water container. This is a little container I picked up. Just anything you'll do, you can get it. This came from Michael's. You can get them at, cheap containers at Dollar General. Your Gesso, they have two types of Gesso. One is a primer Gesso, which is more of a blue label. This is the label you'll want to buy. This is your thick. It's a thicker kind of, and it's heavy. You'll feel it's heavier. And it's Basics acrylic Gesso. And this is the Gesso I always use. You can use Gesso in place of your titanium white paint. It won't be as white as your titanium, but I use that in place of this titanium white a lot. And for the brighter brights, if I want something to really stand out, I mix my colors with the titanium or use it by itself. But I always have Gesso. You can prime your canvas with this Gesso. You don't have to use the thinner Gesso to prime your canvas with. Little squirt bottle. You want to find this bottle to keep your paints from drying out on your palette. Both Hobby Lobby and Michael's sells this in art supply stores. Your palette knives. I'm partial to this little metal and wooden palette knife. It's a T1. made by, it's a Creative Mark brand T1. It has your crook in it. It's a short little palette knife, and you got other palette knives that look like this. This is Artist Loft brand. This is the Michaels brand, and it has a crook in it. You want the good metal, you want the good quality ones with the metal and the wooden handle. Don't get any cheap plastic stuff. And these come in handy for a number of things. And pencil, charcoal pencils. I got that in black and white for detail work. You want a set of small brushes. Some are square, some are pointed for your more detailed work. I got this at, I think, at Michaels. And I think this is 2 sets combined into one. It has a little zipper compartment here where you can take them out real easy. And of course you got aprons. You can, because if you get acrylic on your clothes, sometimes I wear an apron, sometimes I don't. This is one Grumbacher gave me. You see it's been well used. Because if you get paint on your clothes, it's hard to get it off your clothes. Paper towels, I recommend Viva because they're just more absorbent. Dollar General sells this big kind. I don't like the little kind that separates, has different separations. I like this big kind. This is more absorbent. It's more like a towel. The other ones kind of come apart too easy. And we use this for an eraser. You just dip it in your water, wring your water out, and if you have a mistake on your painting, you just wipe it off real quick, and it works as an eraser. Works real good. And you can also use the dry part to erase your charcoal marks. So always have some Viva paper towels handy. Let's see, what else am I missing? Oh, let's see. Well, I don't have it out, but you want your a palette. Don't see it. Well, I'll have to show it in another video, I guess. Well, here's one, but it doesn't have any paper in it. Duh. But you want a Strathmore paper. The outside looks like this. Strathmore paper palette is yellow, and it has your tear-off disposable paper palettes in here. Just tear it off and tape it down. This is a palette, a box mainly made just for this. And when you're through, just fold it up, throw it away. And well, that's just a few things I use. Well, you can use liquid soap or bar soap to wash your brushes. It's very important after you get through painting to wash your brushes. This is just a bar of plain ivory soap in this little plastic bag, and I use this to wash my brushes out. It seems to do a better job on acrylic and oil brushes to clean your brushes than the liquid soap does. But you can use a liquid soap too. This is just my personal preference. So that's just a little bit about some of the materials I use on an acrylic painting. So thank you for watching my little video, and we'll see you next time.